Topic: Africa's adoption of the circular economy. Looking beyond the current take, make, waste linear industrial model, a circular economy aims to redefine growth, focusing on positive society-wide benefits. Underpinned by a transition to renewable energy sources, the circular approach to managing an economy builds economic, natural and social capital. Africa's transformation to the circular concept is considered a crucial component to the continent's post-pandemic recovery. Well, for more on this, I'm now being joined by Sören Bauer, President of REVOLVE Circular. Sören Bauer, thank you so much for joining me on Channel's Business Global. I've tried to explain it myself, but it's probably best coming from you. What exactly is the circular economy and why do we need to adopt it?
Thank you for having me, first of all. What exactly is the circular economy is a tricky question because we find that there are different visions of what the circular economy is depending on who you talk to. Now, our vision at REVOLVE Circular is that, and I believe this is some basics where everyone agrees upon, is that it's about moving away from a linear take, make, waste economy to a more circular economy where you think about closed loops, where you think about value retention, where you rethink the way you produce.
Okay. That was a great summary there. I think that I actually got top marks in my opening explanation. There's been lots of discussion about the African continent adopting this policy. We have actually been doing this for centuries. You know, it's very rare that we use something once and throw it away. Even for those of us in the diaspora, we do keep a lot of our plastic. But in a more serious part of the discussion, we know that urbanization is accelerating across the continent, and that does proliferate slums, poor environmental conditions. These are all challenges of urbanization. How can circularity address some of these issues?
Okay, I'm very happy to hear from you that you are aware that Africa is already adopting the circular economy. So this is nothing new. This is an umbrella concept which encloses many various things. I just want to point out three. Industrial symbiosis, where you look into how can one industry or the waste of one industry become the resource of another industry. Circular economy includes certain action imperatives, which is about repairing or remanufacturing. Now, putting that in the African context, you might be surprised and pleased to hear that one of the cities which is taking this forward is Lagos. There is a move towards circular Lagos, where the city of Lagos, supported by the African Circular Economy Network, is looking into, first of all, how do we start managing our waste much better, first of all, because many kinds of waste which Lagos as a city and the inhabitants of Lagos produce can be a resource for many industries. Furthermore, circular thinking can create a lot of jobs because you would look at thousands or rather millions of Africans working in what's called the informal sector. If you support these people, all these thousands of people who actually work in repairing or remanufacturing something, you talk about circular economy. And that is what circularity can bring in various sectors, including water, energy and other sectors to a better urbanizing Africa, if you will.
Absolutely, which is even more crucial considering we're all going through a post-pandemic recovery. I know that your organisation, REVOLVE Circular, have provided extensive insight for Africa in how they can adopt these, I wouldn't say new measures, but these measures. What has the reception been like? What has the reception been like in Lagos?
Okay, good question again. Let me try to correct you a little bit. We are a small Austrian non-profit, so it is not up to us to address circularity in Africa. I want to point out two organizations, just two, which do great work around circular economy in Africa. Number one is the African Circular Economy Network, which is a network of entrepreneurs on the continent who promote circularity. Number two is what's called the African Circular Economy Alliance, which was founded in 2017 by the governments of South Africa, Rwanda, and Nigeria. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire joined in 2018. So we are 5 African governments who are already working on circularity in Africa, because a circular economy in each economy you're addressing needs to necessarily set different priorities. And this is a movement which is kind of ongoing and driven by governments and entrepreneurs across the continent.
Fantastic. It's good to know that you've got backing from the government. Sören, I spoke to you a little earlier about the fact that in an African home, we very rarely throw away plastic. I think it's pretty well known that if you open a box or a plastic container of chocolate, it doesn't have the chocolate in there, unfortunately. But what are some of the other, I would say, good but small things that people can do to ensure that they're not wasting energy and product?
Okay, so circular economy is about, yes, people, how we consume, how much we consume, how little we consume, and how long we maintain or retain a given product. As you said, in the African context, many people retain what they have. There's a huge market for second-hand clothes from Europe and other industrialized countries. So circularity is part of Africans' daily lives, I would say, much more than in Europe, where we totally overconsume. And in order to drive circularity on a global level, Europeans and inhabitants of industrialized countries need to drastically reduce their consumption. Now, what can you do is, talking about plastics, in one of your neighbor countries, Cameroon, there is a company which uses plastic waste to shred it, blend it with sand, and produce extremely successful roof tiles for Cameroonian houses. You have a lot of people and several companies in Nigeria already looking at plastic waste as a resource. You look at a huge second-hand market for electronics and for remanufacturing of electronics, all of which are, if you will, circular activities or circular practices, which are part of what people are already doing.
Thank you, Sören Bauer, for that thorough breakdown there. I know a lot of people do think Africa is behind this race to bring green and clean, but we've actually been doing it for a long time, haven't we? Thanks for reminding us. Sören Bauer, President of Revolve Circular, thanks for joining me on Channels Business Global.
Thanks for having me.
Sadly, that's all we have time for today, but do get in touch with your comments and suggestions. I'll see you at the same time next week for more in-depth business analysis on Channels Business Global. Goodbye.